exercising, running, bicycling. And he knocks everything down, including kills 8 people and badly wounds, working out, exercising, running, bicycling. And he knocks everything down, including kills 8 people and badly wounds. You ever notice? They never talk about the people that are wounded, where they lose their arms and their legs, and their lives can never be the same. They never talk. They say 8 people died. They don't talk about the 12 people that lost something so important. These are people that are in a park where they go to exercise so they can be in perfect shape. And they go home months later without their legs, without their arms, because this animal going at a very fast speed just decided he's going to make a right into the park and run people over. So he has 22 people that came in because he's here. So he's here. It's called chain, a chain. Nice name, chain migration. He's here. His mother comes with him. His father then comes. His uncle, his aunt, his brother, his nephews, his sister. 22 people. No jobs, just 22 people. No more chain migration. No more chain migration. That's why the Democrats want to give illegal aliens free welfare and the right to vote. That's why Democrats want to abolish ICE. The casualties of the Democrats' open border crusade, and you're going to see it over the next 2 weeks. I'm stuck with it. I want to change it, but we have a tiny, tiny majority. I need the votes. We don't have enough votes. As an example, with the Senate, we need 60 votes. Well, we have 51. We have a tiny majority. We need 60 votes. So they don't allow us to do it. They're killing and hurting innocent Americans. Democrat immigration policies allow poisonous drugs and MS-13 to pour into our country. And Democrat sanctuary cities release violent criminals from jail and straight into your neighborhoods. Republicans believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans, not for criminal aliens. Common sense. Common sense. The Republican Party will always stand proudly with the heroes of ICE. These are tough people, by the way. They're great Americans, but you don't want their job. They go into, they call them nests, MS-13, killers. They don't like using guns because it's too quick. They like cutting people up, slicing them, killing them, like they did to 2 beautiful, lovely young girls going back home from school. Killing them, slicing them. They didn't want the guns. These are evil people, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He said it. That's right. They're animals. They're animals. So, you know, when I see in Long Island, I grew up near Long Island, and I know every town out there. These are great towns. There have been great towns. For some reason, a lot of the MS-13 went out to Long Island, and I've been hearing from friends of mine. And we send ICE in. We put ICE in there, and it's like you liberate. It's like a war. You liberate the town. And those people are clapping and screaming, and these guys in ICE, they walk right into those nests, and they're tougher and smarter than MS-13. And MS-13 respects them. Because none of you guys want that job. I don't want that job. Maybe Louis Gohmert will take it, I don't know. But I don't want that job. I don't want that job. But no, seriously, these are heroes. And they go in and they take them and they throw them into the paddy wagon, then get them the hell out of our country. We've removed thousands of them. They came in through the wonderful Obama administration. We removed thousands and thousands of these people. And the towns are liberated. And you see the people, they're clapping from their window. I'm telling you, it's like a war. It's like a war zone. These are great towns, great places. But ICE, we have to cherish ICE and Border Patrol and law enforcement. And yeah, and we're getting the wall finished because it's a very important element of what we need. Even the Democrats are seeing it. I got a call today. Guy said, you know, we really do need the wall. When he sees those people pouring up, you got to have a wall. If you want to secure our borders, support our law enforcement, and stop catch and release and all of the other things I just spoke about, go out and vote Republican. Do it now or do it on November 6th. If you want America to endure as a sovereign, independent nation, go out and vote Republican. And if you want high-paying jobs, rising wages, and a booming economy, then go out and vote Republican. In less than 2 years' time, we have created over 4.2 million new jobs and lifted over 4 million Americans off of food stamps. They said that was impossible. We've added 600,000 new manufacturing jobs. Remember, the previous administration, I won't be specific, but let's say the head of the previous administration. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? Remember, he said, you can't have manufacturing jobs in this country. You need a magic wand. Remember the famous? Well, I guess we found the magic wand. Best jobs there are. The best jobs there are. And manufacturing confidence just today hit an all-time high in the history of our country. Economic growth last quarter reached 4.2%. Remember, 4.1, then elevated to 4.2. They said that wouldn't happen for years, and we have another great one coming up. And we have an interest rate climate. We don't have a climate where we had zero interest rates. Give me zero interest rates for a little while. You want to see numbers, but we're being conservative. Hispanic American median household income. Hispanic Americans, think of it. Median income reached an all-time high. Hispanic American poverty has reached an all-time low. And Hispanic American home ownership recently hit its highest rate in much more than a decade. African American, Hispanic American, Asian American unemployment has reached the lowest level ever recorded in our country's history. And women's unemployment just fell to 3.6%, the lowest rate in 65 years. Earlier this month, I announced that we are replacing the horrible NAFTA deal with an incredible brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA. And that's a great deal. Our farmers are happy. Our manufacturers are happy. You're not going to have companies leaving for other countries. Very important part of the deal. I said, I don't want our companies moving to other countries, firing all their people, making the product and then putting it in with no tax and selling it back to our people. Not going to happen. That deal totally takes care of it. Not going to happen. No more. No more. We lost 35% of our automobile business in a short period of time. NAFTA was a disaster. That's why I refused. They wanted to call it NAFTA too. I said, I don't want the name NAFTA associated with what we did. It's a great deal. Bob Lighthizer, so many people worked so hard on that. We've taken the toughest ever action to crack down on China's abusive trade practices. We've also made a deal with South Korea, the new trade deal. It's a great deal for our farmers, our manufacturers, everybody. We've taken bold action to reduce the price of prescription drugs. Americans should not be forced to subsidize lower drug prices in foreign countries while paying the highest drug prices ever in the history of this world. We've gone through the process. It's a statutory process. I'm very soon finished with it. Drug prices will soon be plunging. Watch. Secretary Azar, great job. To help critically ill patients get life-saving treatments, we just passed Right to Try. Do you know what that is? That's a person who's very sick, they're terminally ill. They want hope. They want to be able to get something. We have the greatest medical people in the world by far. We have the greatest things they're under research. And what happened is people would be told they're terminally ill, they have a big problem. And if we had a drug or we had a treatment that gave great hope, that looked promising, we couldn't even come close to letting them use it. And for 44 years, they've been trying to get this done, where if somebody is really sick, terminally ill, and we have something in the pipeline that looks really good, we're going to let them use it now. It's called Right to Try. Because I know people that traveled all over the world looking for hope. They were looking for hope. And now they sign a simple document, and they go out and they get it. And by the way, this was signed 3 months ago. We have had tremendous results already. And you know, one of the other things, John, because John was very much involved, and Ted, one of the things that really is, it's the ultimate test, if you think about it. It's the ultimate test. But it was very hard to get approved. We got it approved. It's done. Right to Try. I hope nobody has to use it. I hope nobody has to use it, okay? Stay away. But you know what? If you're really sick and they have something in the pipeline that's good, you never had a chance. Now you get it. Very routinely. And we obtained $6 billion to fight the opioid epidemic, which is a big problem. And with Ted, I tell you, he was incredible. With Ted's help, we repealed the core of Obamacare, the individual mandate penalty that everybody hated, and it's gone. Everybody hated it. And we passed Veterans' Choice, giving our veterans the right to see a private doctor instead of waiting online for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and having a simple illness corrected. You'd have people that stand in line so long, they would have a simple problem, and by the time they got to see a doctor, they were terminally ill. Terminally ill. So now if they have to wait online, these are our great people. If our veterans have to wait online, they go out and they see a private doctor. We pay the bill, and we get them fixed up. And we also passed for the veterans the VA accountability law to assure that anyone who mistreats our veterans will be accountable. In other words, Jim, get out of here. You're fired. Get out. You couldn't fire these people. You couldn't get them out. They could be sadists. They could be thieves. They could do whatever they wanted to do. You couldn't fire. And for our military, we secured $700 billion and $716 billion to fully rebuild the United States military. And we are getting other countries to pay up and pay their fair share for our military protection, including NATO, where I asked to recover billions and billions of dollars. In just 2 years, I've asked NATO, you got to pay up. We're protecting, you got to pay. They weren't paying. Close to $100 billion a year we got. But they pay, we don't pay, they pay. We're protecting them. We're protecting them, and that's great, but they got to pay. At my direction, the Pentagon is now working to create the 6th branch of the American Armed Forces, the Space Force. So important. So important. I'm telling you. Right, John? Cornyn will get that through. See the way people love it. It's so important. It's where it's at. It's really where it's at. To keep America safe from terrorism, we have put in place the travel ban. Remember that? Recently upheld by the United States Supreme Court. Remember that? You'll never get it approved, Mr. President. Let's give it a shot. We just had it approved by the United States Supreme Court. I withdrew the United States from the horrible, one-sided Iran nuclear deal. And we have recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Together, we have made extraordinary progress but we are just getting started. If you vote to elect a Republican House and a Republican Senate, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut your regulations, raise your incomes, help your jobs, take care of your medical problems. We will protect Medicare and Social Security. The Democrats will never be able to do it. We will defend the Second Amendment, and we will continue to confirm great judges who will abide by our laws and our Constitution. We will fully secure our border. We will pass Kate's Law. We will stop sanctuary cities. We will stop visa lottery. We will end chain migration. And we will keep the criminal drug dealers, predators, and terrorists the hell out of our country. We will lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, from dependence to independence, and from poverty to prosperity. For years you watched as your leaders apologized for America. They apologized. Now you have a president who is standing up for America, and we are standing up for the great state of Texas. But to continue this incredible momentum, to protect your state and your country, you need to elect a Republican House and a Republican Senate, and you need to vote for Ted Cruz. He's a terrific, great senator. Loyal citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country, returning power to you, the American people. That's what happened. That was the greatest movement in the history of our country. What's happened? Look at this as an example. A president would come to Texas, and if they had 300 or 400 people in a conference room in a hotel, it would be considered a success. We had over 100,000 people want to come here today. Over 100. The greatest movement in the history of our country, and it's your movement much more than it's my movement. I'm just laying it out. I'm telling it like it is. From Houston to Austin, from Dallas to El Paso, from the Red River to the Rio Grande, this state was settled by some of the toughest men and strongest women ever to walk the face of the earth. This is the state where William Travis, James Bowie, and Davy Crockett made their last stand at the Alamo. This is the state where a small band of patriots at the Battle of Gonzales, armed with a single cannon, stared down a foreign army and declared, "Come and take it." Come and take it, they said. Come and take it. Come on up. Come on up and take it. Come on. Oh, what happened? You didn't want to take it. And Texas is the state where generations of farmers and ranchers and oil workers and pioneers built a life and a home with their own two hands. They didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have a lot of luxury. But they all had one thing in common. They loved their families, they loved their country, and they loved their God. These courageous Texas patriots did not shed their blood, sweat, and tears so that we could sit at home while others try to erase their legacy, tear down our history, and destroy our proud American heritage. For the sake of our freedom and for the sake of our children, we are going to work, we are going to fight, and we are going to win, 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 and going to keep on winning. We will not bend. We will not break. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never back down. We will never surrender. And we will always fight on to victory. Because we are America. And our hearts bleed red, white, and blue. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Texas. Thank you.